Hey folks, welcome back to another Pawn Master video, and today we're going to talk about Keldeo and Diantha, right, and how to use this unit, because this is a very, extremely fun unit. There's like so many like teams you could build, there's so many different, situations that you could run her in and make her, very well in, right? So let's go over some of those. So, to start things off, right, a quick, again, just glance at her stats and stuff. Pretty fast, very good special attack, pretty good, HP. Defenses aren't bad either, right? So you could actually run her as, a tank, right? For a triple damage dealer comp, you could definitely do that, right? Secret Sword's damage dealing move. You got Strike True, which buffs her special attack by 4 and crit by 3, and then gradual healing to yourself, right? And then this is the craziest part of her kit, where every time you attack the opponent, you debuff their defense, special defense, and speed, and then you buff all those stats yourself, which is really good, right? So anyways, in terms of lucky skill, right, you definitely want crit strike 2, because it's a very good sync nuker, especially if you have her 3 out of 5, right? If not crit strike 2, crit strike 1, and if you can't get either, I'd say either defense crush or what was the other one? Defense crush or fast track are all fine, I guess, right? Vigilance if you want to tank with her a lot, right? As a core of a triple damage dealer comp, you could do that. All right, so let's get to the grid. Starting out at a 1 out of 5, you don't really have too much, right? At 1 out of 5, just pick up the Sacred Sword power ups, I guess, right? Just all the Sacred Sword stuff, or not Sacred Sword, Secret Sword. I always get these Stalwart, I guess. Some speed, nose, don't really need anything else. And then moving on to 2 out of 5, you actually still don't have too much at 2 out of 5. Again, most of our stuff is at 3 out of 5, right? Most of our stuff is at 3 out of 5. You could pick that up, I guess, right? You could just more Secret Sword power-ups here and there. You come down, pick up the special attack, plus 10. Some more stuff here. Unbending if you want, right? So, or Stalwart, whichever one you need a bit more, right? And you go with that, right? So that's, I guess, 2 out of 5. 3 out of 5 is where, again, you get most of your stuff. If you are nuking with her, you could definitely pick up stuff like Brute Wits over here, which the more your special defense is raised, the more it powers up your sync move. Remember, she buffs her own defense and special defense when you're attacking the opponent, right? Tough Cookie is, if your defense raise powers up moves, and then the inertia over here power up your sync move when your speed is raised, which again, you also buff yourself. You can pick up these sync move power up nodes, and then you can pick up like a move gauge refresh on Secret Sword. If you're not syncing with Keldeo, there are a few more options, right? For example, if you're trying to sync with someone else, and then you have your core damage dealer is of whatever the opponent's type is, which makes a bit more sense, I guess. And you're just using Keldeo as like a side damage healer / debuffer, right? You could definitely do that as well. But you still probably want Tough Cookie, probably still want Secret Sword, Move Gauge Refresh over here. As for some other options, you can maybe go for the MP Refresh over here on your training move to make sure you max out your own special attack, because a lot of situations when you are in like a triple damage dealer comp, right? You sometimes you can't get enough special attack for yourself to max out your special attack stat, right? So you can maybe pick that up, or like, I don't really like going like this route, just because it's very it's very expensive for both ramp up and grand entry. Because if you do pick up ramp up and grand entry, you don't need any RNG to max out your special attack stat, but then it does cost a lot of it costs you a lot of energy, right? You have to drop something over here, right? Whether it be the move gauge refresh, probably going to be the move gauge refresh, right? And the thing is, when you are running more than one damage dealer, most of the time you want that move gauge refresh, because you're queuing up a lot of moves, right? But yeah, there's really no other option, right? But so I wouldn't really go for that. Like, I probably just bank on the NPR, right? If you get an NPR, then that's good. If not, then oh well, I guess, right? As for like some other stuff, there really isn't like too much. You pick up Secret Sword power-ups, basically, right? As many as you want or is available. And you can pick up like some speed nodes, maybe go for this special attack node over here, +10, right? There isn't, again, too much when you're not nuking, because again, like her grid is very, very compact, right? You get basically everything that you need from just this grid, right? Very, very, very simple, straightforward, all the good stuff, right? Because after this, there isn't like too many good stuff, and like these are fantastic, fantastic nodes, right? So, moving on, let's talk about team comps again. I can't talk about every single team comp that you can make her good in, because there's tons of fantastic team comps that you could run her in, right? I'm just gonna talk about a few. First of all, this is my favorite one, by far my favorite one. You got both Easter units, and then Keldeo, right? This is really, really good because, first of all, Keldeo is debuffing the opponent's physical defense, so your high jump kicks from Mei will be doing more damage. And Keldeo does have the inertia nuke, right? And Mei over here can buff your Keldeo speed, right? Could buff your Keldeo speed, and Mei could also buff defense if you want as well, right? Which is again great for Keldeo's tough cookie. But you know, you don't really have to, because Berg could also do that, right? Berg could buff your defense, special defense here as well, right? Even though again Keldeo could do it all herself, but just speeds up the process, right? Berg over here also has the Direhead All Plus, so it makes so that your Lopunny could actually, you know, crit on her moves, right? And after you sync with Lopunny again, you'll have two really, really good fighting type damage dealers with, you know, +4 to +6 speed on the team, depending on the NPR on Lopunny. So you generally won't have too many move gauge issues. And then you just keep on debuffing the opponent's defense with Keldeo, and then that, you know, helps Meibun's damage over here, which is really, really nice. Plus they share like quite a few the theme skills between each other, so that's nice as well. Moving on to something a bit more rare, right, is you could actually max out, can you believe it, you could actually max out Nessa's sync nuke multiplier over here, right? Because one of her biggest knocks against her is that it's very, very hard to max out her sync nuke multiplier, right? Because first of all, you need to restrain the opponent, which is not hard. You can just jaw lock restrain the opponent. But then in her grid, right, you do have stuff like Relentless, which you need to debuff the opponent's defense, and then Hunter's Instinct to debuff the opponent's speed. There's not a lot of units in the game that can do both, right, very, very efficiently, and Keldeo could actually do that, right? Because every single hit Keldeo does debuffs, guaranteed debuffs the opponent's defense, speed, and special defense, right? So you could do that, which again helps a lot here. Maybe not Kyogre, maybe Mei, right? Maybe Mei, because even though like it works, it's still gonna like take a while. So unless you want to like sync with Kyogre first, actually, yeah. If you want to sync with Kyogre first, maybe Kyogre is better, right? With the shower sync thing, whatever it's called, yeah, shower syncs. So that would be nice as well, right? As for some other options, right? Like again, Keldeo just fits anywhere, right? Keldeo really just fits like all over the place. For example, like any of like fighting teams, Solgaleo is another good one, right? Solgaleo, very, very good. You can run Focus Blast Solgaleo with Brain Teaser over here, right? Because again, this needs the opponent's special defense lowered, and then Keldeo debuffs the opponent's special defense every single hit. And you get the Brain Teaser activated. Again, this is against Fighting Week. You have a pretty powerful, because Solgaleo's Sunset Strike, kind of whatever, but Solgaleo's Focus Blast is very, very powerful, right? So we've got two pretty powerful, fighting type DPS over here, outputting damage, all that stuff. Again, just like any fighting type. Wally's another good one. Oh my goodness, Keldeo works so well with all these fighting type units. Wally's another good one because Wally does actually have that sync nuke over here being Cakewalk, right? Cakewalk. When the opponent's speed is lowered, it powers up sync nukes. Obviously, it's not going to be like extremely realistic due to it's still gonna take a few turns to debuff the opponent's speed, and B, you probably want to sync with the Keldeo instead because Keldeo's sync is much better. But I mean, you can still do it, right? You can still do it while debuffing the opponent's physical attack, which again, obviously in this case you don't want to use Burgundy. You probably want to use something else that help buffs the team better. Probably like a Falconer, right? Falconer Swallow probably a bit better here. But yeah, this could also still be an option as well, which is really, really nice. Again, like what else? What other fighting units do we have? B, they don't synergize like that well together because Diantha doesn't really give B like too much, right? But it's just still a solid, you know, both good damage dealers, and then you debuff the opponent's physical defense for B, right? Guzma, when he comes out, he could just run all these fighting type damage dealers, right? Karina, even though again they don't really do much for Karina other than both fighting types, unlock fighting type theme skill, and then you debuff the opponent's defense / special defense, whatever your teammates use, right? But you know, some other, for example, triple team comps, you could do something like a Reshiram, right? Reshiram over here, pretty self-sufficient. Reshiram could buff your team's, you know, or move gauge acceleration for your team, right? And then over here, just run some other sufficient damage. You like a Groudon, you give Reshiram the Sun, right? You could also Mind Games 9 the Solar Beam, right? With all three of these units debuffing the opponent's special defense at the same time, because you have Mind Games 9 here debuffing the opponent's special defense. You have every single hit from Diantha debuffing the opponent's special defense, and then Reshiram over here with Mind Game 9. Every single turn the opponent gets -3 special defense. They get -6 special defense in 2 turns with this team. Okay. not joking around. This team is not joking around, right? And then, you know, should have enough gauge as well with the again, move gauge acceleration over here. Diantha has speed buffs, all that stuff, right? So yeah, a lot of fantastic fun teams that you could run with Diantha. Just you could figure out some stuff yourself as well, right? If you have any good ideas, you know, post it in the comments down below. So anyways, that's me with this one, I guess. Hope you all enjoyed, guys. Think in the comments down below. Like and enjoy this videos for our channel for some more Pokemon Masters content. Join the Discord if you guys, you know, still need help on any Pokemon Masters related stuff, or just want to talk about Pokemon Masters or stuff in general. Follow me on Twitter for funny memes sometimes. I don't know. Anyways, have fun, folks. I'll see you guys in the next one.